based on this, and we've been in office a month tomorrow, $15,000 of the special event budget has already almost been depleted.
Oh, yeah. We can always count on Kiana to go ahead and call Tiffany out. Welcome back, you guys. This is the fourth installment in my series I dubbed Tiffany Henyard, The Road to Recall, where we look at the past board meetings and we look at certain situations and instances, I think that's how you'd say it, that may have led up to the trustees trying to recall Tiffany Henyard. And if you want to get fully up to date on all these videos, I will leave them all down in the description, and then you can go back and start watching it from the first one that I started on. All right, so we're picking back up on the trustees questioning Tiffany about the finances and basically how much she spent on her inauguration, and them asking the questions, and Tiffany, of course, getting on the defense. Let's continue to watch.
Well, I don't want to say you're right because I haven't added it up.
It's based upon expenditure.
So as long as so you're saying as long as one invoice is not $5,000, then it can be spent without the board approval. I just want clarity, and I would like to know the ordinance number at a later date of what you're reading from.
Okay, I can get you that opinion.
Okay, thank you so much.
So Trustee Kiana Belcher is just being thorough. She's trying to do her homework and just trying to clarify things for the future going forward, how things are really supposed to be done, because like she mentioned before, I don't think it was this video, she is new to this position, so she wants to know that she's doing things right. Let's move on to Trustee Jason House on this issue.
What we're talking about is, of course, a budget. So we have, Chris mentioned some things that in terms of being within budget, the ordinance that, as I understood it, similar to Attorney Raines, was $5,000 and under, would not be within board approval. My belief on the intention was that we make sure we don't have large projects that exceeded. So I didn't interpret it as an individual, I interpret it as a collectively, but the big thing is that we all communicate so that way we're on the same page. So it's important for us, of course, that we get the budget so that way we're talking real numbers instead of what we're committing without a budget. And also, but all items from what I've seen have been under the 5,000 threshold. Collectively, it's over 10,000, and I think that's why it's bringing board conversation. But I just want to make sure that, of course, we are all communicating with each other to make sure that the items are approved across the board.
So as Jason is explaining the fact that, hey, he didn't take it as an individual or collective thing as far as the $5,000 threshold, but what raised concern is when things were above $10,000, and even though they were separate invoices, that just raised concern, especially since there hasn't been a budget drawn up yet, you guys. Okay, at this time, there was not even a budget drawn up, and she's spending this type of money. And so, yes, the board is concerned. And just so you guys know, when I say this type of money, she ended up spending $14,000 on her inauguration when the previous administration only spent $1,000. So that kind of just gives you an idea of what they're dealing with so far and why they are discussing it. So let's see what Tiffany started to laugh about and what she thought was so funny while Jason House was trying to explain.
Okay, you done?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, so for the record, Board of Trustees, I respect everybody to the utmost here. All I want you guys to do is, if you have all these questions, you guys just saw me. Just met with all of you guys. And if you had questions, concerns, or anything, we could have went over it instead of doing it here, which you guys know the public said they don't like it this way. So that's why I extended the olive branch and sat and met with everybody. So if you had concerns like you do now, as related to any item on this warrant list, we could have went over it. So I don't want it to be like picking or nitpicking at one another about anything. I will answer any question, but I don't want to spend all this time on certain items when we can move on. Lately, our board meetings have been going really smooth, and I want to continue it that way.
So yeah, trustees, come on. Don't ask her about her spending during the board meetings. If you can't ask that, I don't know what the board meetings are for. She's like, you guys just saw me. You didn't talk about it then? No, because this is the actual board meeting and we're discussing the bills and stuff. This is what it's for. But you know, Tiffany, queen of grandstanding, which she likes to deflect that off onto them. Like she's always saying someone else is grandstanding. But as we can see here, she was the inventor of grandstanding. You know, and then she mentioned she wants the board meetings to go smooth like they have been doing. But then she proceeds to go on this long rant, basically chastising them about questioning her about the spending. Okay. It's starting to get a little ridiculous already, right? Okay, you guys, let's continue to hear Tiffany and her grandstand.
My door will still be open. I'll answer any questions. So, Trustee Belcher, if you do have another question, let's put it on the floor and move on.
Okay, so just for a comment and for the record, I don't think that you saying that the people said that they don't want to see it. I don't think we're bickering at all. We're asking questions, that's valid questions. And just like things that's being put in front of us, if somebody has a question and you say, yeah, we were together, but we couldn't talk about business. So, I mean, we could be together, and if we can't talk about business, that doesn't suffice. So I don't think that we're bickering at all. So I don't want you to think that just because somebody asked a question or it's not of what you believe, it's a question that I'm just asking. So I'm sorry if you feel that I'm being combative, but I want to know.
You tell her, Belcher. Don't let her get you off track and try to make you feel that your questions are not valid, because that is exactly what she's doing. We know, if we know by now, we've seen enough footage of Tiffany and her narcissism, her sociopathy. I mean, now, I'm not a psychologist, but it only takes a couple of Google searches to line up Tiffany Henyard's personality traits with that of a narcissist and a sociopath. But those are just my opinions. Let's get that clear. So let's get back to the board meeting, and we're going to get back to Tiffany Henyard, explaining when they were together, they could have talked about this stuff before. Let's see how that goes.
Okay, so we were together, and everybody know that. So when we are together, everybody can go 2-on-2 and they can go and talk about village business. We're not just together to hang out. We're there to build a relationship. I'm not saying anyone's bickering per se. I'm saying that we don't have to spend all this time on the warrant list, because we could have got all these questions answered and we would have had a better understanding before now. That's what I'm stating to the Board of Trustees. So for future references, if we can get an understanding as relates to the warrant list, which I know Janice sends out on Thursday, it has nothing to do with the agenda. The warrant list goes out first, and then you can ask your questions, whether it's to a department head person or myself. And that way you'll get the right answer, and we don't have to go back and forth over, pull this, take this off, because people did do a service and they deserve to get paid for the service that they did. So if we have no more questions, I will move on to the motion.
Well, to me, it doesn't sound like they were there together to discuss business. So if that was the case, Tiffany should have made it clear to them, like, hey, even though we're here, if you guys have anything to discuss that we want to discuss, let's go off into twos, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if they could do that because they need a quorum in order to conduct the business of the village. So I really don't know what she's talking about right here. She's kind of talking out of the side of her mouth. Okay, just trying to make up excuses as to why she really doesn't want to hear their questions. She just wants them to pay the bills. Okay. And we know that's the common theme, right? With the current board meetings. She's always telling them, hey, you could have contacted the department head. You could have called my phone, ring my phone. I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it again. Oh my goodness, you guys. Do you guys know, if you've been keeping up on this drama in Dolton, and if you've seen at least one of those board meetings, one thing I just said would at least resonate with you as far as to what she continually says over and over in these board meetings, like a broken record. So let's go ahead and move on.
I just have one thing, Mayor. I apologize. I wasn't present, so that's the reason why I asked my questions this evening. I wasn't present when you guys got together. But moving forward, I will make sure that I review this warrant list, and any questions, I definitely will make sure they are asked before the board meeting.
Okay, and then for you, Trustee, I appreciate if you and I do get together. I reached out to you several times trying to build a bridge with you and I so that we can get on one accord, so we don't have any public display as it relates to agenda items.
So you guys, if you just pay attention, So Trustee Tammy Brown, well, first of all, she is admitting that she didn't really go over the warrant list, which is not okay. Okay, that's your job. But then Tiffany begins to chastise her like, hey, you know, I tried to reach out to you to avoid any of these public displays of, you know, whatever. But it's like, at the end of the day, even if she did go over the warrant list and she didn't get an answer in time, she still has the right to ask you at the board meeting about anything. But, you know, Tiffany, we know, good old Tiffany, you know what she really wants. She wants everybody to just say yes, yes, yes. She doesn't want any pushback. Let's go ahead and continue.
Mayor, there's no public display. You asked on a Sunday. I attended service on a Sunday. So that's the reason. I sent you an email back and stated to you I was at church service on Sunday. Right, so that's the reason why I wasn't present.
Right, I know.
Even though it did come in late, but this was the first Sunday that I could attend service. Right. But moving forward, we definitely will make sure that this doesn't happen again during the board meeting.
Okay, so now that you're done, I'm not speaking of the meeting per se. I'm saying that we pick up the phone for everything else. So if any of you guys ever have a comment, concern, or issue, I'm up. I stay up till 1 a.m. You could call my phone and ask me about anything as it relates to village business, is what I'm saying to any of you guys. We don't necessarily have to meet in person. We could do it over the phone if you guys like. So I'm just saying that publicly once again. So I hope that all of our relationships get better moving forward.
So, yeah, no, the relationships didn't get any better. Needless to say, that's why they're on the road to recall. Dun, dun, dun. All right, you guys. Well, that's going to be it for today. Let me know how you guys feel about these, board meetings and Tiffany's slow progression towards showing her true colors, basically. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And if you're enjoying this little saga, Tiffany Henyard, The Road to Recall, please let me know down below. And if you're new here, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.